said, look, we're interested in Gibbs-White. We're thinking about 70 odd million. And then he's gone, tell you what, just put in 60 million. And, it's a bit sneaky about Tottenham going to speaking to so and so where he should have spoken to the club. And he says, well, yeah, it's true that you're not supposed to be talking to the player, but there's nothing saying that you can't speak to their.
He doesn't get the move that he wants to get, and then he falls out with the club because of all this. It could actually turn really, really bad for Forest in the end.
Don't take him, please.
One Way Football's a one-on-one fan talk, and today I'm joined back with Tom. How are we, Tom?
Mate, how are you?
You don't look very happy.
I'm so fed up with this transfer window. Fed up already.
Only feels like it was only a couple of weeks ago that we were talking about, the positivity side of having Europe, and this is another thing as well. The Forest, I was thinking about this. The Forest get pushed down into the Conference League, or did you get Conference League?
We were in the Conference League, and then because of this whole thing with Lyon and Crystal Palace, we've been bumped up to the Europa League.
Oh, so you have been bumped to that. That's a positive thing, then, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, as I don't agree with it. I feel sorry for Crystal Palace. If anything, Lyon should be pushed down, and we should stay where we are. I do feel sorry for Palace because
I thought that's probably what would have been the best choice was for Crystal Palace to go. Do you know what I mean? As much as as a Forest fan, wouldn't want to be kicked out of it, but then if that's how the system works, that's how it should go, shouldn't it? Like a drop down kind of thing. But hey ho, you've stepped up your mark anyway without even kicking a ball. So
yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah, so look, listen, I want to get into a couple of key things with the transfers. Obviously, the major story at the moment at Forest is with the Spurs ongoings with Morgan Gibbs-White, and the way it's all planned out. Apparently, there was rumours that because of the contract, that Spurs shouldn't have got directly talked about the clause to the player. They should have talked to the club first without going to the player first and talking about it. It's wrong how they've dealt with it. What's your thoughts on all this? Because I know I've got a Spurs fan that comes on this show. He's absolutely livid with Forest. He's calling them crybabies and everything like that. So, what's your thoughts on the whole situation?
Other way around, I suppose he'd be fuming as well. But because the thing is, in the space of 48 hours, we've lost two of our main starting 11. And I've got the feelings if we knew about this thing with Gibbs-White, we wouldn't have got rid of Alanga. So the way I see it is you don't know what to believe. So you don't know if Spurs have genuinely gone out of their way to put a £60 million bid in for Gibbs-White that's triggered that release clause, and they had no idea about it. Or as Gibbs-White and his agent said to them, listen, we know about this. Why don't you put yourself in for £60 million to start the release clause? I get Gibbs-White don't want to be here no more. He's publicly said that he wants to move on.
But then I've just read as well that he's back in training, so it's not like he's not refusing to play with the club.
No,
he's still willing to do his job.
He's sticking to his duties, which is fair play. But yeah, like I said, I don't know which way to take it. I really don't. Because
we do have to take it in consideration that sometimes maybe it's to do with the club. So maybe Forest don't want to do business with Tottenham. You don't know.
Well, obviously they don't because of what Gibbs-White obviously provides to the team. So a couple of forums that I've been reading, because obviously they said that Gibbs-White's agent's quite big with Spurs and they're quite pally with Spurs. Have they said, look, we're interested in Gibbs-White. We're thinking about 70 odd million. And then he's gone, tell you what, just put in 60 million. That way, I'm saving you £10 million because I know about this clause. Give me a bump of that money, and then you can give Gibbs-White an extra 10, 20 grand a week, and I'm still saving you however £1 million it is. That's the main thing that I keep hearing, that's what, obviously it's all alleged if that's gone off or not. But
I mean, what's his actual price? I mean, what's the most... what's the price that you'd be happy with to sell him? I mean, without even the release clause. But what would you think? Would you think like 75 is a good, or 70, something like that, around about that?
I bracket absolutely. The reason being is we bought him for I think it was 42, 43 million, and I believe that Wolves have got a sell-on clause as well. So 60 million with it's pointless money to what 10 million, if that, we'd make out of him. I
Yeah,
just don't think it's worth it. So and
yeah.
I'm absolutely sure that Forest didn't want that either. That's why they've been. I think it said yesterday on Sky Sports that they've been trying to get him to sign a new deal for the past year, and he's just outright said, "No, I don't want to."
Yes, it's all a bit of a. Like I've just read that now on the news. Morgan Gibbs-White transfer news. Nottingham Forest better minded to keep the midfielder in contracts and talks revealed, and that's just like in the last um 30 minutes. So they are trying their best to try and keep it. Like you say, if the player doesn't want to stay, then why are you kicking up such a fuss about it? I think it's because they're probably worried about. Then they've got to find a replacement, haven't they?
And that's what we're struggling with at the minute because we got rid of Alanga, and then we was trying to sort that out. And I think we was looking at Bakayoko from PSV, I think he is, but he's gone somewhere else now. I can't remember where. And don't get me wrong, that midfield, we can chuck that Elliot Anderson into there. He will fill Gibbs White role perfectly, but we still need to build the team thicker for Europe, which we don't have. You saw at
Yeah,
the end of last season that the players were just knackered.
yeah. And now that you're in the Europa League, I say this all the time. If you're an English team going into that Europa League, I would say there's no excuse not to get to that final now. But if you don't have the depth to do it, then it's going to be a bit tricky for you, and it's a bit of a long haul and a
Absolutely.
road to go to.
Absolutely.
You know, but do you think Tottenham is the right move for Morgan Gibbs, or is he just looking at the big aspect of Champions League?
If that's, I don't think it's a good move for him personally. But it's again, it's what the player wants, isn't it? If he wants to go to a certain club, what are we to say? Don't go there. You're damning yourself, if anything.
Yeah, yeah. To me, it's all a bit of a school school kiss and tell kind of thing with it all. Like it's bad business at the end of the day. I think by both sides. Um, I think it's a bit stubborn on your side, but the Tottenham, the way they went about it is wrong because they should have come to the club first. I think. I know a lot of Tottenham
That's not the case. We know
fans, and
that
that would.
happens all the time. We know that happens all the time. The club will speak to the player and go, look, we're really interested in you. What do you think? And they say, yeah, I'd like a move or whatever. And then they'll go to the club and say, listen, we've already spoke to them. They're more than happy with the move. This is what we think is worth. Do you accept that? Yes or no? We know that happens all the time.
Because
But it's
we
only
also know that the different release clauses are not all release clauses are not the same. So in that whatever that contract was, it could have been something saying that the club has to directly speak to the club before speaking about clauses, and the player doesn't have a say in it. It could be something like that in the contract. But we know like how rumors get and how it is because the way like Chinese whispers happen and everything these days doesn't stay quiet. You find out about anything like within like that with just talking to one person. Um, and he
but
might have just said, maybe look into my release clause. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
But I was speaking to Spurs fan at work today, and I said, it's a bit sneaky about Tottenham going to like speaking to so and so where he should have spoken to the club. And he says, well, yeah, it's true that you're not supposed to be talking to the player, but there's nothing saying that you can't speak to their representative. There's nothing in the rules about that, which that's news to me. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah. It's yeah, that it's we don't know the things that go behind the scenes. I think with any club, if they were going in for, Morgan Gibbs, it's just he's a quality player in himself. I understand why Forest would want to keep him because he's been a massive asset to Forest,
I
to
love him.
being where they are.
When I read it, I was absolutely gutted.
Got it, yeah. I mean, yeah, like I say, it's they're kind of big boots to fill, because he's done such a good job there. Um, what do you think on the intake of the owners and how they've come across all this? Like,
I think Marinakis always comes across as the pushy, sometimes a bit mardy, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I like it. I like it that he goes. You know what? Fuck it. This is what I think. Deal with it.
yeah.
You know, a lot of people like, or a lot of clubs will go like, not do that. But I do like it how Marinakis like pushes the boat out a bit and pokes the bear sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, is there any other updates on what you're looking at then? Like you said before, with transfers, because obviously Elanga, we'll get onto that now. Actually, Elanga, is he moving to? Where does he move
Newcastle.
to? Newcastle. That was a bit of a weird one for me because then that kind of like moves on for talks with Isaac moving from Newcastle if Elanga's going there. But it could be just a backup striker for them. But I can't see why Elanga wouldn't want first team football. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But and I think I read yesterday that Liverpool's pushed for him, but he's sacked now. So it's
It's all a bit of a yeah. This is the probably one of the weirdest transfer like things. I mean, Arsenal doing like six transfers at a time. United not even pulling their finger out and doing anything. It's crazy.
everybody.
Yeah. But this is the problem. Like, because you've had such a good season, you kind of must have known that you were going to get poached for these players.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But I also thought that the position that we finished in, compared to the positions that we had finished in, like fighting relegation, I thought that these players will be like, look at what we've achieved this time. Can we push ourselves further? But
Can we go a bit further? Yeah, you would have thought that as well, wouldn't you?
yeah,
Um, but I just that Gibbs White thing, it is a bit of a mess. Um,
it's
there's
awful.
there's so much that you can probably like talk about that situation, but if you were to sell him right now, is that a big like loss for you though? Is it a massive loss, or can
I
you
think
know?
so. I think it's a huge loss. And there's people I spoke to who says, nah, you know, he only got so many goals. But it's not just that, it's what he does off the pitch as well. And the videos that I see where he's actually the core and is the glue of the team and is that fire in the changing rooms, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 for me, it's a bit of a tricky one. And if the player himself has said that he wants to leave already, then I would have just made the decision and gone, all right then, but we'll get rid of you. But that's your stamp on. This is the stamp that we're going to give you for your transfer.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to meet the release clause, they have to come directly to us, and that's it then.
Yeah.
Because
But you don't want players there that don't want to play for the team, do you?
yeah, it's becomes a bit of it's a bit naughty when it because you then it starts to become like because I said like before, if he's in training and that, then he's willing to put in the work. He obviously
Yeah.
knows what kind of mess up this whole situation is. So he's gone, you know what, I've got a job to do still. So that's the positive side of all this. It's
But
just Tottenham
where
aren't
does it
probably
go?
going to stop until they get him.
Where does it go from here, though? Because if Tottenham now go, you know what, we're going to step away because there's too much of this, and yeah, they might have a legal thing against us. But then other teams now know about the £60 million release clause, so they can go, here's £60 million, I'll have them.
Yeah, yeah. Tottenham have just made that mistake, kind of like because now you've just kind of put yourself in a race against nobody that was actually there in the first place, and now there's probably going to be a few more teams go. Hang on a minute, yeah, let's look into this now.
Because it was linked with Man City a couple of months ago. I think they was
Yeah,
offering 75, 80 or something like
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I would say I see we you can't blame Forest for this, and I suppose you can't blame Tottenham for this. It's a bit of a weird situation to
that.
be in the middle of.
You don't know how to feel about it. At the same time, you're going, you Spurs bastards. But then on the other side, you're going, Gibbs, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then you go,
Um,
Forest, did you put that in his deal? Why did you put that there?
and even reflecting on now that the simple fact that they've got Europa League, they're gonna have to try and keep some of these good players. And I would if I was Forest, I don't know what the money is right now with them, but I would go and offer him a massive contract and just go, there you go. Like you're gonna be playing in Europe anyway. Why didn't you stay for another season and see how you are and we'll up your contract.
But what I read yesterday, how true it is, I don't know. So apparently they've been pushing Gibbs-White the past few days and saying, look, we'll give you a new contract, get rid of the release clause, and we'll double your wages. How true it is, I don't know, but that's what I've read. And
Yeah,
and even if still he's going, no, surely that tells you he don't want to be there.
yeah. Then you've got a kind of a crisis on your hands where you go, right, okay, we need to offload this player as quickly as possible, and then we need to get one in quickly because time's ticking and the transfer window is going to be closed soon. What have we got, like 3 more weeks of it or something?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at the two newest ones that they're looking at now. Leicester City attacking midfielder. I dread to pronounce his name. Bilal El Canous or something like that.
Kakanu, yeah. Yeah, but
So
that's a good thing though, because Leicester know what it's like to be in the Premier League. So it's getting players that have played in the Premier League is a good thing for an established team that's been in the Premier for a few seasons now.
we're
Um,
looking at Ramsey from Villa as well.
yeah, yeah,
I
no,
mean,
another good signing that would be. So like, it's not all doom and gloom. Um, I like we said, just the business side of all this is just gone to cack. Um, I mean, what would you say to Tottenham fans right now if they was calling you crybabies and all that? Then
is what it is. Honestly, I've got no response to it because if they have been sneaky about it, then I'll say, yeah, you fucking German's a sneaky fucker. But if they haven't, and Gibbs White generally wants to go, then you have to hold your hands up and say, you're not in the wrong for it. A player wants to leave, and that's it.
yeah, yeah, it's. I honestly hope that he just makes the right decision and the club make the right decision because it can really turn nasty if this falls through. And he doesn't get the move that he wants to get, and then he falls out with the club because of all this. It could actually turn really, really bad for Forest in the end, and you're ending
Yeah,
up with a player that doesn't want to play at all.
yeah. That's the other side of the coin, isn't it? So if he does end up staying because Tottenham pull away and nobody else puts a bid in for it, and he's stuck with us for another 2 years, he's got 2 years on his contract. Does he one play? Don't put his 100% in, and then no club will want him anyway, or does he play to his strengths, show how good he is, and then by the January transfer window or even next summer, it'll be worth his buyout clause will be a lot less than where it is
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the player, he's probably like he's prime at the moment as well because he's 25, and he's playing such good football. And yeah, I really hope it doesn't go nasty for Forest because at the end of the day, you've got a quality player there for yourself, and if it does go to the final day and nothing becomes of it, or you don't offer him a new contract but he stays, or do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it can. I've seen it in the past where players want to make a move, they end up. I mean, look, Tevez was one of them. Do you remember when he was at City and he refused to play? That was
yeah,
just awful. He's just sat on the bench every game. He was getting paid just to sit there because he had control over the club.
yeah.
Um, and that's when it lies to. I In a way, maybe Forest could have just turned around and just gone, all right, then look, you found it out, whatever. But we're going to have these add-ons put on top because we forget as well that you can put add-ons on. So the release clause is 60 million, but it's up to the club if they want to add on this much and this much. That's the negotiation part. So it's the same with Victor Gyökeres at the moment with Arsenal. So it's like something like 65 plus add-ons. Now they want to put another 8 million on top of it as well because they're being bitches about it. That's that's the whole that's the whole bit after the clause. The release clause is just the contract releasing from that contract. Then you've got the add-ons on top for your fees and that and and your
Why
transfer
would they
and
do that then? Why would they not do that? Because
well, this is what I was thinking. I was like, well, thought you would just go, all right, then there you go, do that, and then we'll just add another like 10 million on the add-ons.
yeah,
So I don't know. It's like I say, it's a bit of a weird one, but your expectations then going into next season now, I have to ask you this because obviously you started to see how the transfer window is happening. Are you a bit worried about it now?
I'm worried about this season now. Yeah. The light at the end of the tunnel is this Igor Jesus that we've signed, and I think he's going to be somewhat special.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I'm thinking that Forest can do is just try the hardest to get as many players as they can now. Because if they've got a team that's breaking apart a little bit, then they have to time the preseason to kind of gel them back up together.
Yeah, that's what we need. Like you said, we do need those extra players because if it goes like last season again, they're just going to be knackered. And now you've got European on top of it. Yeah,
Yeah. And listen, as much as this saga is going to continue, probably I think for another maybe week or so with this Morgan Gibbs-White thing. I hope something does get resolved. It's quite interesting to actually watch on an outside point of view, but for a Forest fan, you must be absolutely furious with it all and a bit cacking it at the same time.
Horrible. I think like that what you said earlier, like what are Forest thinking? And I think the reason why they're digging the reels in so much at the minute is because it is two key pet players that we've lost. If
Yeah.
Elanga wasn't gone, I think they'd say, okay, then we've lost Gibbs-White. But because Elanga went as well, it's then they've gone, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah. How much did he go for, Elango? Do you know the price?
55.
55. Yes. I mean, even that's quite. That's not even that much these days. 55 million. Considering what he was quite a good player at Forest.
Yeah, we bought him for 15, so
Oh, so you have made some on it, but still, you could have probably added another like I would say 15 onto that.
easy.
Yeah, easy. But look,
For
listen,
his,
Tom, go on, carry on quickly, go on.
I said for his pace in that, yeah, he is good. Elanga is, and we've lost massively on that right wing now. But I'm sure Forest have got something in the bag they'll pull out.
Yeah, well, let's see in these next few weeks anyway, to pre-season and that. Look, Tom, I'd love to get you back on the show for one-on-one fan talk when the season kicks off as well. If there's any
Yeah,
more breaking news at Forest, we'll get you back on as well. And also once a week as well. Well, if I give you the call to come on Match Week Madness, which is a new show that we've got on at the moment, prediction show. That would be great to have
yeah,
you on there as well. So
I
look,
love
listen, have you got any final words for Tottenham supporters?
that.
Huh?
Don't take him, please.
Please, then was it like just please, our hands
Please,
and knees, don't take him.
please don't take him.
All right then. Well, Tom, look, thank you very much for coming on the show and giving out your point of view on this situation. If you've got anything else to say, people, put a comment below the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share all the content. Hit that bell for new video content that is newly released. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you very much for coming on, and we shall see you once again. Cheers, guys. See you later, mate.